coming out of the Moonee Valley Cup. Grabs a spot for OTI, and Joseph O'Brien, as we said, will have 4 runners in the Melbourne Cup. So it was third in the Moonee Valley Cup. Horse drew 1 and basically took shortcuts thereafter. It'll drop from 59 to 53 in the Melbourne Cup. It's drawn barrier 15. Shocking, of course. Corey, the last horse to complete the double.
Yeah, look, I mean, I thought it was a great ride by Johnny Allen. Hasn't he done great things since coming over from overseas? He's come over here as obviously a jumps rider and made his name as a flat jockey. He's done an amazing job.
This is almost a bit of sort of team racing European style to see Hackey go forward and set the speed here, Hutch.
Well, I think that's what Hackey's best suited, to be honest. So I think, look, it was an even tempo. I think Hackey might have been better off even going a touch quicker, but it was sort of a bit of toing and froing through the early stages. Hush Rider never probably had the rub of the green early. Look, I wasn't sure with Downdraft because I thought the run at the Valley in that slowly run race was just a plain effort, but maybe off a slightly better tempo, maybe with the cushion in the track yesterday as well. It was an impressive win, put it that way. So, but on the clock, nothing outstanding. So I'm still not sure if this will be the right reference, but on firmer ground we'll probably find out a little bit more. But one thing's for sure, what does it go from 59?
59 down to 53 and a half.
53 and a half. So, with a horse that's won pretty well. I mean, he won.
Yeah,
it showed a much sharper turn of foot yesterday than it had at Moonee Valley a week ago. Maybe the soft ground was a contributing factor to that, but as you say, John Allen's given it a peach of a ride, 4th back on the fence there.
But he could have been anywhere. He would have won. He would have won like that. I mean, I'd say there was a good run from Cariff, who.
He wanted to lay in badly the last little bit. It could have been a lot closer, I think, if the horse had gone straight.
Just a really awkward ride for Jamie Carr, but full of running and probably another sort of local something to look forward to.
Is there some benefit for Downdraft heading into Tuesday, the fact that it'll be its 3rd run on Australian soil? It's normally a reasonable profile for the internationals.
I think the benefit is that it's trained by Joseph O'Brien. He just has an incredible record in bringing horses to Australia and those horses performing at their optimum. And as you touched on earlier, 4 runners in the Melbourne Cup. I mean, Joseph's only been training for sort of 4 or 5 years.
Let's pick up the call. John Allen taking Downdraft away in the Hotham.
And sprinted away. 2-3 lengths in front of Azuro. Then Cariff, Hush Rider and Hackey dropping away. Downdraft went for home though at the clock tower. It's a mile in front. 4 lengths Cariff, followed by Azuro. But it's all Downdraft. Downdraft 3 lengths in front, secures a place in the cup. Downdraft a length and a quarter, Cariff. 5 lengths away, 3rd.
So still a lot of time to study the form ahead of 3 p.m. Tuesday, but this is probably not in the top echelon of what we're expecting from the international contingent.
I prefer others, but I got him wrong here, so it is what it is. I just don't think that's the right form when you look around. I mean, let's look at Cariff, who's obviously an improving horse, but I just don't. I mean, the Chosen One was a bit disappointing for mine. I don't think this is the A-grade form personally, but you had to be impressed with the win. It was highly impressive, but they're completely different conditions that we'll see on Tuesday than what we saw here.
I think he'll finish in the first half of the field. And I think if you go back a couple of runs, he's got really strong form around southern France. I don't think he's classy enough to win, but I do think he'll stay the trip, and therefore I think he'll run in the first half of the field.
It was one of those situations which is actually pretty rare, coming through a Hotham, which is the last chance to get into the Melbourne Cup, where Downdraft was sitting in the field at number 24 in the order of entry. He simply needed to turn up, win, to hold his position in the field, and that's what he did. The other interesting one out of this race was the fact that the Chosen One was already in the field as well, but Murray Baker and Andrew Forsman elected to race yesterday and then back up 4 days later, and their thoughts on the Chosen One was that he was a little bit keen on the muddling tempo. He was out the back. They just didn't get a great guide. They think he can go much better out to 3,200 metres on Tuesday, and the blinkers are going to come off.
Yeah, well, they're going to say that, but it was an ordinary run. I mean, it was very plain. I couldn't make a case for it in any way, shape or form.
Let's head to the Wakeful, the traditional lead-up for the 3-year-old fillies over 2,000 metres. We've, of course, got the VRC Oaks to come on Thursday. And imagine that the Quinella from this race yesterday will be prominent come Thursday. Miami Bound, this was the race that gave Damien Oliver a record 73rd Cup Carnival win to take him past, of course, the great Bobby Lewis. The last Wakeful winner for Damien Oliver was Kensington Palace in 1997, which of course he then won the Oaks a few days later. And Miami Bound's Dam Arapaho Miss was the 2007 Oaks winner as well.
Yeah, it was an Ollie special as well. He just, I mean, when you go back and watch it, he really cuddles there to as late in the race as he possibly can. He just leaves something in the locker there Corey, and when that challenge came from a really nice type in Vegas Jewel, he just had enough up his sleeve.
Up his sleeve. Like Grace mentioned earlier, it's great when you go to the races and you see the 2 or 3 best horses go to the line battling it out, you know. And I think these two fillies are something special, to be honest.
And they were just drawing clear at the end. Like, they just put a gap on them in the last furlong.
So Miami Bound was 6 lengths off thought of that in the Caulfield Classic, which we now know is a good form reference, because just in front of her was Warning, which has then bounced into winning the Derby yesterday. 3rd in the Manifold here prior, but in terms of Vegas Jewel, consecutive black type seconds, it's still in its first preparation, but do you think it's got a profile where it can bounce back for Thursday?
I reckon she can. I honestly do think she can. I reckon she's going to be much better next preparation. I don't think she's furnished yet. She still looks quite weak and immature, and she's just doing it on raw ability at the moment.
She can turn the tables without a doubt. It was a terrific run. She's, you know, I think in these testing conditions, Ollie's horse just got through. Miami Bound just got through it a bit better. She's helping him here. You can see he doesn't have to push the button, and Vegas Jewel's just grinding away. I think could easily turn the tables.
Let's watch Miami Bound and Vegas Jewel fight out the finish in the Wakeful.
At the 250, it's Miami Bound for Ollie. 3/4 of a length in front of Vegas Jewel, wearing her down. Miami Bound, still about a half. Vegas Jewel, they pair off. Miami Bound with 50 metres to go, surges again, leads a half length. Vegas Jewel, Miami Bound, it's Cup Carnival history for Ollie. Vegas Jewel second, 4 lengths, photo third.
So they certainly gapped them. Good run Palumbo for Linda Meach and Graham Begg, coming off of Pakenham Maiden to grab a place in a Group 2 race as a 3-year-old filly, important for its pedigree page. What do we make of Flit? In 4th, a long, long way back though.
Oh, I thought Hugh must have thought he was riding Melody Bell to have the horse that far off them and think that it was going to be a winning chance in a slowly run race. I know pre-race James Cummings said that he'd given Hugh licence to ride it however he wanted to. I would have thought he could have been more positive and settled in the first half of the field, and after they'd gone 600 metres, if you're on Flit, you didn't want to be on her.
I think she's too aggressive for the 2000 anyway. I think she's more of a miler.
Maybe she was aggressive though because they were going slow and she was so far
getting
back.
dragged back out of it. Yeah, I do accept that, but I honestly don't think she gets the trick myself.
I'm not sold that way yet. I want to see her again. I think she is going to get over a bit of ground, and I think the tactics yesterday were a disaster.
Well, they were talking about running her in the Cox Plate a couple of starts ago.
Yeah, I'm not going to say that she doesn't get 2000 just yet. I can see why you could have that school of thought after that race yesterday, but the conditions, etc. I just want to see her another time. Maybe just land where she's happy. She was a bit keen earlier. For me, it was a forgive run, but she's been too good at elsewhere.